Hey, welcome back. Today we're breaking down the top 5, the absolute must-have IT skills you need to be thinking about for August 2025. Whether you're already deep in the tech world or you're looking for your way in, this is your playbook for staying way ahead of the game. So before I just give you the list, seriously, take a guess. If you had to put money on it, which skills would you say employers are actually fighting over right now? You know, with how fast everything changes, the answer might not be as obvious as you think. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling in the tech world. A skill that was cutting edge last year could be the bare minimum today. That fear of falling behind is totally real, so we're going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Okay, so let's think of this like a career quest, right? The challenge of keeping your skills fresh is no joke, but just understanding what the playing field looks like, well, that's the first and most important step. This is where we start building toward that next level. And here's the thing, this is the whole point. What employers are looking for is shifting, and it's shifting fast. The skills that used to make your resume pop are now just the starting line. To really compete, to be valuable, you have to know what companies need not just yesterday, but right now and what's coming next. Okay, let's dive into our first bucket of skills. I want you to think of these as the architect's toolkit. These are the foundational superpowers, the bedrock skills you need to design, build, and, maybe most importantly, protect the digital systems that run, well, everything. And kicking us off at number 1, in a move that should surprise absolutely no one if you've glanced at the news lately, is cybersecurity expertise. Yeah, this isn't just some skill you can add to your resume anymore. It's a non-negotiable. So, you might be asking, why is this so huge right now? It's because the threat landscape is literally exploding. This isn't just a problem for big banks anymore. Every single company, from a tiny startup in a garage to a massive corporation, needs a digital shield. And that demand has sent the need for skilled defenders through the roof. And look, being a jack of all trades here isn't going to cut it anymore. Companies are looking for real specialists in things like cloud security, people who can handle a crisis with incident response, and ethical hackers, the good guys who find the weak spots before the actual bad guys can. All right, that flows perfectly into our second skill, which builds right on top of the first, cloud computing mastery. If cybersecurity is the shield, then the cloud is the entire kingdom that shield is protecting. Look, the bottom line here is simple. Being good with platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud isn't some extra credit skill anymore. It is the core of pretty much all modern IT infrastructure. It's not optional, it's essential. But what does mastery actually mean in the real world? It means you get cloud architecture so you can design systems that don't fall over. It means you can handle deployment and optimization to make sure everything's running smoothly and not costing a fortune. And, this is the big one, it increasingly means multi-cloud proficiency. The really advanced skill of making different cloud platforms work together seamlessly. All right, number 3. This is where things get really smart. Data science, AI, and machine learning. And think about it. This is only possible because of the massive power and storage that the cloud gives us. You know, we're just drowning in data these days. But the real power, the thing that gives a company an edge, is being able to pull real insights out of all that noise, and then build smart systems that can learn from it and basically predict the future. And the jobs in this space, they are complete game changers. There's a huge demand for machine learning engineers building the models, data analysts who can tell a story with data, and AI model developers who create the core intelligence. This is where all that data stops being numbers and starts making things happen. Okay, so we've laid the foundation, right? The architecture. Now, let's head into the engine room, where all the action happens. These next couple of skills are all about taking ideas and actually bringing them to life, and doing it fast. And that takes us straight to number 4, DevOps and Automation. This is basically a philosophy and a toolkit designed to tear down the wall between developers and operations. And it's all about one thing, moving faster without breaking stuff. So this image here, it breaks down a super powerful idea called the CI/CD pipeline. It stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment, and it's the absolute heart of DevOps. You write code, and it's automatically built, tested, and shipped in this constant loop. This is how companies are innovating at an absolutely insane pace. And none of this happens by magic. It's all powered by some seriously cool tech. We're talking things like containerization with Docker and Kubernetes, using infrastructure as code to build servers automatically, and of course, the tools that automate that entire pipeline we just talked about. And that leads us to our fifth and final skill on the list. This one's a bit of a classic, but it's more in demand than ever, just with a modern spin: full stack development. The thing is, companies will always need developers who can bridge that gap between the front end, the stuff you actually see and click on, and the back end, the brains of the operation running in the background. The big difference today is the laser focus on mastering modern frameworks that let you build bigger, better apps faster. So what's in the toolkit for a modern full-stack dev? You're looking at front-end frameworks like React, back-end tech like Node.js or Python, and maybe most importantly, the skill to tie it all together with cloud services and build powerful APIs. So there you have it. We've navigated our career quest. We've basically given you the treasure map. Your next career chapter? It starts now because the path forward is right in front of you. And let's be super clear about this. Cybersecurity, cloud, AI, DevOps, and modern full stack, these aren't just buzzwords to throw around in a meeting. They are your literal roadmap to moving up in your career, to getting paid what you're worth, and to building a career that can actually last in this crazy industry. So it all comes down to this. You have the map, you know the direction. The only question left is the one you see right here. What's your first step?